Okay, so welcome to another episode of Through the Back Door, soon to be Girl into Fashion podcast. My name is Claire Vastola. This is probably our 23rd episode. It's really nice to just be able to chat about working in fashion, thoughts on fashion. I realize I kind of use fashion as a way to explain life. Like, I sometimes feel like I make sense of the world through fashion, like how you would use art history to explain a time and an era and a feeling. I kind of feel like I pick up on fashion in like a similar way. So I don't know. These are just my thoughts. Right now, I am feeling like very over secondhand. I kind of low key hate it. And I'm at the point where I would rather buy the best version of something secondhand or just save up and buy the real thing. If the real thing is just good as quality as the vintage, which I know there are a lot of instances where that's not the case, but for certain things, the quality is there. And it's kind of like I'm missing out on the experience. The stuff I'm buying looks like crap. It breaks. It's way too expensive because everybody is paying attention to which designers come back in style. I mean, perfect example, Isabel Marant, the wedge sneakers. I have been looking at those on eBay for about 3 years. I haven't really pulled the trigger because I don't know why. I was just kind of like, I don't know. But now it's coming back. Those shoes that were once $70 are now $200, $300. And the shoes look like shit. They look like shit. When it comes to sneakers, the glue might be getting dry, the stitches, like there's cracks in the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we really buying here? Like, yes, okay, I get it. I get it. Buying something designer for a fraction of the cost so you can have the look is great. And I also appreciate you not wanting to buy a knockoff. I 100% get it. But sometimes I'm like, okay, in this economy, spending $300 on something that is a gamble and you don't know if it's actually going to last you. Also, the point of buying designer is the resale value. If you buy something secondhand, maybe you'll be able to sell it for the same amount, but I don't know. Anyways, so like I said, I'm just ranting. This is what we're talking about today on the podcast, is talking about secondhand. Is it worth it? Should you buy it? Should you keep buying it? Is it kind of like a trend that is kind of starting to change? Like, let's figure out how let's talk about it. Okay. So if you don't know, this is Charlie. He's everyone's emotional support animal. He's amazing. Oh, let's talk about secondhand. So what I've been kind of just feeling is like, listen, I don't have budget. I am not a budget baddie. Like, I am on a strict budget and I want the look. So I go to eBay. And that's typically been like a very successful route for me. But as of lately, it has been really frustrating because everyone is trying to get that money for that piece that they found at the bins. And listen, I get it. I understand. I respect the hustle. But it's also just like, where are we at right now? The new shit is crap. The old shit is crap. And everybody is just kind of starting to look like crap. And so I'm like having this thought and I realize I'm like, oh my God, it's the end of the winter. All winter, I have been struggling to get dressed for because I don't have enough basics. I only have one skirt, but I have to wear leggings under it. I have this, but I have to wear, I have to layer it because I only have short sleeve designer stuff. And my whole closet is just like not functional and is not helping me with my life. So that being said, I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of not having any bottoms to wear because this designer piece broke. This piece that I got it, the real is like uncomfortable fabric and I just refuse to wear it anymore. It's like these little tiny things that when you're kind of shopping in person that you don't really realize that you're kind of checking off your mental list. Is it comfortable? Does it fit right? Is the length good? Like, how does it feel when I walk? Is the weight comfortable? These are all things that you're subconsciously going through when you're shopping that necessarily aren't a part of the digital secondhand buying experience. You're just kind of like, okay, the measurements work, but what if that fabric sucks? I'm never going to wear it again. I'm literally going to resell it for, at the store down the street, other people's clothes, shout out. They have a lot in my closet and it's usually rejections of things that I bought on the internet that I was hoping would work and didn't. So I went to Uniqlo, loved it. They do collabs with designers, which I think is actually really cool because their basics are more elevated. And yeah, okay, I'm buying something from a mass market realtor. Okay, I get it. I know that there are issues with that, sustainability, whatever. But what you don't know is when something fits me and it is comfortable and I love it, I will wear that piece until it is rotting in the ground. I will wear it till there are holes in every single seam. It is literally like not cute to wear anymore. And sometimes it's even cute when it's destroyed. I will literally wear something to its death. So I'm kind of like, is that not better than all the crap that I've bought and just gotten rid of? Because here's to say, like, that it doesn't end up in a landfill eventually or whatever. Like, obviously, we could talk product cycle of life, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm the one who's struggling because I have no fucking pants to wear because they're. I just was a crazy person who bought all secondhand designer that I don't actually really like. So if you're in the same boat with me, I totally get it. I actually know a lot of you are in the same boat as me because I've posted about it on my Instagram. Honestly, I'm just kind of like tired of like trying to be like a Brenda hashtag that just has like everything designer in my closet. Like I don't have that budget, you know? I wish, but I just like sometimes need a pair of pants that, excuse me, that look really cute that I can just wear and I'll look like actually more put together than I would in like the secondhand designer piece that I bought just because it has, you know, whatever brand on the label. And like, yes, I totally love getting a deal. This is kind of not about the deals. eBay used to be the deals. Like eBay used to be the spot where you would see something for 150 to $100 and you're like, you know what? That's worth it because it's a really good basic for $50. You know, Paloma Wool or Vivian Westwood or Rick Owens, I've even seen, you know, back in the day. And so it's just kind of like now that's few and far between. Like, you know, you'll see a t-shirt from a designer brand that, you know, maybe sells for, let's say $500 and they want $300. Like, no, that's just like silly to me, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, it needs to be a deal. Like, I need to get something out of it, not just like spend a lot of money for the look and potentially something that's going to break. Obviously, as you know, like lifestyles, like things come and change, things like come in and out of style. I kind of wonder if we're getting to that point with vintage where, you know, it just starts to look like a certain look and then people don't want that look anymore. I think secondhand's always going to be something that people kind of flock to because, like I said, it's a way to get the look for cheaper. I mean, that's also being said of like, for instance, like, you know, certain bags are better quality back then than they are now. Things like that. But that's being like a conscious shopper, in my opinion. Like if I'm going to spend $5,000 on a Chanel bag, I might want to spend that on something that is maybe from the early 2000s versus something now. I mean, I don't even know if I could get one for that price. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like just being like very aware, but also it's like, for instance, I was seeing like this Cartier tank watch and I was like, it had some discoloring, but I'm like, I could potentially get that repaired and pay less. You see what I'm saying? Like, you kind of have to just like think about it a little smarter. Like, okay, I know I'm going to spend some money on repairs, but then I'm going to have like a genuinely great product because this was made with real leather or real materials versus like the products now are just like a little bad. It's kind of like you have to just kind of decide. But that also brings me to like another point where if you want to have something that's like unique and like, yes, obviously if you're buying like all vintage designer, you're not going to really look like another person. But like what I really love is building a relationship with the designer. So people always ask me, oh, how do you go to fashion shows? How do you get into the fashion world? First off, if you live in New York and you're not going to designers, pop-ups, events, anything that they have that's like non-runway, why are you going to expect to get an invite to their runway show? You're not a part of that brand's world. Like you're not doing anything for them. So if you're the least you can do to pay to play is buy their stuff and wear it. You know, it's kind of like if you want to pay $1,000 for something, might as well pay $1,000 from a designer that you can go meet with, get a personalized fitting, get repairs on that if there's any issues, you know, like really good quality stuff. Like I'm talking like silk, like qualities that if that was a Miu Miu top in silk, it would be $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you just have to kind of realize, like, okay, I want to be a part of this world, but I also have to like participate in it. And like the best way to do that is to work and see designers that are literally in your sphere that you can interact with. And I mean, also too, like, that makes me so much more excited when someone likes something and it's not just like something from Uniqlo. I mean, I was definitely very excited about my basics. Like, everyone in my office will attest to that, that I was really, really excited to finally have some clothes to wear. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm also really, really excited to talk about a designer that I'm wearing, because usually it's something unique. It's something that you can't buy in a store. It's something you can't see like another person wearing. And people will come up and ask you like, oh my God, I love that skirt. I love that top. Like, where's that from? You know, because you can't get that. So I think that's kind of like the other beautiful aspect of it. So there's just like a lot of pressure, I feel like, when you're in the fashion space to like wear the labels, interact with the labels. But I'm just kind of like, as someone who's getting into this and kind of like working my way through, I'm just like, how do I, if a social media is like a fake it till you make it kind of game, right? Then like, is this the way that I do that? Is this the way I talk about the brands and interact with brands? But is this also the way that I want to be? I don't know. It's just been feeling like a lot of pressure lately to kind of like give off the illusion of luxury when you just aren't. I'm not luxurious, but I like designer and I like certain things, but I'm like, how do I play in that world when I'm not? So I want to kind of change topics here into kind of a more working in fashion element. My sister, who does not work in fashion, she actually went to school for like environmental studies, but she lives in Florida and she's having a hard time finding a job, as like most people who are graduating. And I'm like, okay, so let's apply my insane, crazy New York City trying to get a job in fashion in 2026 skills to someone who lives in Florida. I'm like, I will find you the best job that exists out there, because why wouldn't I? If I can find great jobs in New York being absolutely crazy, then I could probably definitely find jobs in Florida. But that being said, it kind of also reminded me to kind of like share some of these ideas. So, one of my videos on Instagram that does the best is the unhinged ways to get a fashion job, and I basically list like just things that people don't do anymore or do now. And so one of them was make like a TikTok video like talking about your resume, like literally show up physically to the space to like hand in a portfolio, which obviously people used to do but nobody does now, and like a bunch of other things that I just kind of was like, you know what, you got to do something to stand out. If you don't have a great resume, you don't know anybody, you got to do something. My biggest psycho hack was starting a fashion networking event where I literally just was like, I can't be the only person in New York that doesn't know people in this industry, so let me just like host the space. It's been really great. If you're interested in coming, obviously follow, we'll share more information. But we're just like talking about resumes, and I'm just like, okay, like I don't really know anybody in that industry, but I know people who live in Florida where she currently lives, and I know people who've gone to school. And I know that's not like a totally like random degree, right? Like someone knows someone who's has that degree, right? So I'm like, okay. So I'm texting through all my friends. I'm like, hey, and you know, she gave me a list of what she's looking for, and I was like, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that knows anybody? And this is what I'm saying, like you have to like literally vouch and push for yourself, because nobody else will. Granted, I'm her sister. I will try to do whatever I can, but like you need to have that sister for you being yourself, being like, you know what? I'm just gonna like put myself out there, because at the end of the day, like that's the person that gets the better job or the better network, you know? So I was just literally talking to people that I probably haven't talked to in like 10 years. Just no shame. That's like really what I've learned with transitioning from sales to design, is like the pushy salesperson always gets the fucking sale. And like, it does feel weird having to be like that person, but at the end of the day, you're the one who gets the benefit, you know? So I was just like, hey, do you have this? And I got her, obviously it's Sunday, day one, but I got her like 3 references, multiple website, like government, like job searches that she didn't know about, all these different resources. And so hopefully she's going to meet someone and connect with them. And then that's just one step further, because honestly, it's all about the in. Like if you don't have any experience, getting that in, getting a person just being like, hey, just interview them, is going to get you so much further than just being like a random person on LinkedIn, obviously. So I literally was like looking up people on Instagram and I'm like, would it be weird if I DM them? I think it might be weird if I DM them. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I don't, but in fashion, I would have not wasted a second. I would have DM'd them. I would have followed them. I would have commented, hey, I sent you a DM. Like it would have been like that. So it is like a little interesting, like pivoting, but essentially I'm doing like the real life version of that for her, which is not weird in that space. So this is what I mean by like kind of like really showing up for yourself. Like if you want to work in fashion and be in this industry, like you can definitely do it, but you have to just really motivate yourself and like show up and advocate for yourself because like I said, it's like a crazy industry and it's like really competitive. And I think if you want to do it, you definitely can, but you have to like also be like smart, like maybe it's not that great spending a whole afternoon sending hundreds of LinkedIn resumes. Like maybe you'll get one interview, a couple interviews. Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't even hear anything. Most of the time, I don't even hear anything. I'm like, is this just a newsletter scam? At the end of the day, it's like, but if you spend your time targeting one person who works at one job, that might be like the in that gets you to that place. So that's kind of my like working in fashion little tidbit. What else? I'm planning a Blossom Night happy hour that's going to be coming out soon. So stay tuned. Something I'm loving right now. Honestly, you guys, I've been really just kind of like not in the mood to do anything. I really loved those Uniqlo basics that I got. I was like really obsessed with them. Yeah, I haven't even really been paying attention to fashion, to be completely honest with you. I don't really know what the vibe is. It just feels like very performative to me right now, but you know, we're on that path. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like just keep doing what you're doing and just kind of being really grateful for the opportunities that you do have and the people that are in your life, because honestly, that's kind of like the real thing at the end of the day. Like, I know I'm talking about like superficial stuff, like secondhand designer clothes and like jobs, but at the end of the day, like you got to learn how to like live your life and enjoy it. So that's kind of like been my main thing recently, because I feel like since graduating from school, it's just been like, got to get a job that pays the bills, got to get this job, got to pivot, got to get this, got to get the promotion. And I'm like at the point where I'm like, oh, I like kind of low key forgot how to like enjoy my life. And it's kind of like, oh, I'm like tired of the grind. And I feel like it definitely got me to where I am now, but it's like now I need to learn how to like chill, and like be thankful for the things that I do have. But yeah, so I think that's a great ending note. Stay tuned. I want to start doing weekly episodes, like I say, but then sometimes do not follow through. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, please follow us on Instagram for more networking events and just like overall fashion philosophy of life, according to me. And yeah, so I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you next week.